मातरम् सर्वेभ्यः मम नमस्कारः। वन्दे मातरम् वन्दे मातरम् सुजलां सुफलां मलयज शीतलां सस्यश्यामलां मातरं वन्दे मातरम्। शुभ्रजोत्स्ना पुलकितयामिनीं पुल्लकुसुमितद्रुमदलशोभिनीं सुहासिनीं सुमधुरभाषिणीं सुखदां वरदां मातरं वन्दे मातरम् वन्दे मातरम्।
ధన్యవాదాः శారద గారు. Now can you chant the prayer?
Yes. 3 times Omkaram, a 1 minute meditation, then 3 times Omkara Japam. Om. 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 Harihi Om. Om Gananam Tva Ganapatigam Havamahe Kavim Kavinam Upamasravastavam Jeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata Anasrunvan Noti Bhisida Sadhanam. Om Sri Mahaganadhipataye Namaha. Om Prano Devi Saraswati Vajeebhirvajinevati Dhinamamitravatu. Om Sri Mahasaraswatyai Namaha. Gurureva Gati Gurumeva Bhaje Gurunaiva Sahasmi Namo Gurave Na Guroh Paramam Shishurasmi Guroho Matirasmi Gurau Mam Pahi Guro. Jnananandamayan Devam Nirmalaspatikakrutim Adharam Sarva Vidyanam Hayagrivam Upasmahe Shruti Smruti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Pada Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantah Punah Punaha Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavat Vyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amrutangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Matrudevo Bhava Pitrudevo Bhava Acharya Devo Bhava Athithi Devo Bhava. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanao Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
ధన్యవాదాः Dr. Sharda garu for a very beautiful chanting. Now let us welcome Sri Ram Mohan Namle garu. I think you all are familiar with him as both as your batchmate and also our batchmate. And to be very to tell about him, I think it requires a lot of time to speak about him. On behalf of Veda Samskruti Samiti and Sanatana Dharma course students and all the faculty, our Hemakant Prabhakar Rao garu, our Mahodayas, we welcome you again, Namle garu. To brief about him, I would just like to give an introduction about him. He's a banker, retired banker, and 2013 he retired from service. It requires a lot of information. There's a lot of information to because he has got such a varied experience, I can say. And with his background, he has worked as a faculty, he's worked in the banking, his career is in the banking field. Along with that, he's also worked with many other institutions, and is academically also, he has done quite a lot of courses in different areas, like psychology, MBA, all this. He has been a faculty, he has been a guest speaker in many training programs. And it's an honor, we can say. He's been given many certificates and awards in recognition of his services. It's really, we can say that it's a privilege for all of us to hear something from him. It's about Indian knowledge systems. That is his topic for today, which I think he's a master in it, I can say, because of his varied experience and his background. So I request all of us to take the opportunity of listening from what Sri Ram Mohan Namle garu speaks on this session today, and shares his vivid knowledge with all of us. So again, I welcome you, sir, on behalf of all of us, to start with the session. Thank you very much for sparing your time for us. Yeah, please start the session, sir.
Thank you, Amma, for the nice introduction. Prabhakar Rao garu and తదితరులకి అందరికి కూడా సాయంకాల అభినందనలు మీ అందరికి. ఎల్ఎల్ఎల్ నాకు చాలా నా ప్రైవేట్ అక్రానిమ్స్ షార్ట్ ఫామ్స్ తయారు చేసుకోవడము, వాటిని వాడడము అలవాటు. వెన్ ఐ సే ఎల్ఎల్ఎల్, ఐ మీన్ లైఫ్ లాంగ్ లెర్నింగ్. ఆ మాటకొస్తే ఈ ప్రపంచంలో విశేషించి ఎక్కువ భాగము అత్యంత ప్రాచీన దేశమైనటువంటి భారతదేశములోని విజ్ఞానాన్ని తీసుకున్నా కూడా మిగిలిన దేశాలే వదిలి ఒక జీవితకాలం సరిపోదు ఆ నాలెడ్జ్ని, టోటల్ నాలెడ్జ్ని కైవసం చేసుకోవడానికి. మరి అటువంటిప్పుడు మనం చేయగలిగింది ఏంటంటే, మన జీవితం మొత్తం కూడా జీవనోపాధి సంపాదనలో కొంత టైం వెచ్చించక తప్పదు. అది వదిలి మిగిలిందంతా కూడా జ్ఞాన సముపార్జన, నాలెడ్జ్ గెయినింగ్లో యూజ్ చేస్తే ఎంతో కొంత జీవిత చరమాంకము చేరేసరికి ఎంతో కొంత సైజబుల్ నాలెడ్జ్ ఉంటుంది. Right. Then, so lifelong learning. Learning need not be lifelong. Learning, దాంట్లో ఎల్ తీసేస్తే ఎర్నింగ్. ఎర్నింగ్ అంటే హౌ వీ షుడ్ ప్లాన్ అవర్ లైఫ్ అంటే, ఒక 40 or 50వ ఏడు వచ్చేప్పటికీ మన జీవిత కాలానికి సరిపడా సంపాదించి పెట్టుకోవాలి డబ్బులు. అంటే ఎంత అంటే దానికి ఇదమిద్దమైన పరిమితి ఉండదు, కానీ మన కుటుంబ నేపథ్యాన్ని బట్టి మన జీవిత కాలానికి సరిపోయేంత డబ్బు సంపాదించి బై ద ఏజ్ ఆఫ్ 40-50 మరి సంపాదించడానికి పని చేయాల్సిన పని ఏంటంటే, ఏం చేయాలంటే యూ షుడ్ గో ఫర్ సీకింగ్ లెర్నింగ్. వెన్ యూ లర్న్, వెన్ యూ అక్వైర్ నాలెడ్జ్, వాట్ ఈస్ దట్ యు గెయిన్ అనే ప్రశ్న వస్తే మన కాన్ఫిడెన్స్ లెవెల్స్ పెరుగుతాయి. దయచేసి అందరికీ కూడా నా చిన్న విన్నపం ఏంటంటే, విచ్ ఐ ఆల్సో డూ, నేను మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద టైమ్ ఐ విల్ బి లిజనింగ్. ఐఎమ్ మోర్ ఇంట్రెస్టెడ్ ఇన్ లిజనింగ్ దెన్ స్పీకింగ్. నేను మాట్లాడేటప్పుడు నాకు రాసుకునే అవకాశం తక్కువ ఉంటుంది. అంటే స్టేజ్ మీద రెగ్యులర్ క్లాస్ రూమ్స్ మాట్లాడుతున్నప్పుడు ఐ యూజ్ ద వైట్ బోర్డ్. సెషన్ అయిన తర్వాత ఐ క్యాప్చర్ ఏ ఫోటోగ్రాఫ్ ఆఫ్ ద వైట్ బోర్డ్. నేను రాసినవి ఐ విల్ టేక్ క్యాప్చర్ ఇట్. మళ్ళీ అది నాకు చూడడానికి టైం ఉండొచ్చు, ఉండకపోవచ్చు, బట్ దట్ ఈస్ మై హ్యాబిట్. ఇప్పుడు ఆన్లైన్ చెప్తున్నప్పుడు కూడా ఐ కీప్ ఏ పేపర్ అండ్ పెన్ విత్ మీ. మీతో మాట్లాడుతూ కూడా మీరు ఎవరైనా మంచి పాయింట్ రేస్ చేసినా, నాకేదైనా తట్టినా కూడా ఐ విల్ బి స్క్రిబిలింగ్ ఇట్ హియర్. సో ఐ రిక్వెస్ట్ ఆల్ ఆఫ్ యూ టు కీప్ ఏ పెన్ పేపర్ విత్ యూ. నాట్ దట్ వాట్ ఐ టెల్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్ ఈజ్ ఆఫ్ యూస్ టు ఆల్ ఆఫ్ యూ. కానీ ఎవరికైనా ఒక స్పార్క్ వెళ్ళవచ్చు. నేను చెప్పే దాంట్లో మీరు టాంజెన్స్గా ఏమైనా మీకు థాట్ వచ్చినప్పుడు యూ కెన్ నోట్ ఇట్. సింప్లీ వింటే ఏమవుతుందంటే అది కొంతసేపు అయిన తర్వాత మన బుర్రలో నుంచి ఎగిరిపోయే అవకాశం ఉంటుంది. మేబీ ఆఫ్టర్ ఫ్యూ అవర్స్ అది డే ఆర్ టూ. రాసి పెట్టుకుంటే మనకు ఒక్కొక్కసారి పునరావలోకనం చేసుకునేటువంటి అవకాశం ఉంటుంది. సో విత్ దిస్ బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్, the current topic on which we are spending time to in the evening session is Indian knowledge systems. Last month మనకి యూనివర్సిటీ వెనక భాగంలో ప్రొఫెసర్ రామిరెడ్డి డిస్టెన్స్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ సెంటర్ సెమినార్, ఒక 3 days ఇండియన్ నాలెడ్జ్ సిస్టమ్ మీద సెమినార్ జరిగింది, 3 continuous days. అండ్ ఐ హ్యాపెండ్ టు బి దేర్ ఆల్ ద 3 days. అది వెళ్ళడం జరిగింది. రాసుకుని నా పద్ధతిలో నేను ఐ ప్రిపేర్డ్ సమ్ నోట్స్ ఆన్ ఇట్. దెన్ ఐ థాట్ ఇట్స్ ఏ క్వైట్ గుడ్ ఏ టాపిక్. సో వై వి షుడ్ నాట్ ప్రజెంట్ ఇట్ ఇన్ అవర్ రెగ్యులర్ అవర్ VSS మీటింగ్స్ అని అమరేంద్ర బాబు గారు చెప్తే వారు హీ సెడ్ ఓకే అన్నారు. సో దిస్ సాటర్డే ఇట్ బికేమ్ పాసిబుల్ ఫర్ హిమ్ అండ్ ఫర్ మీ. అంటే నేను ఖాళీగా ఉండాలి, అంటే నా ఖాళీగా ఉండాలంటే నేనేమంత విఐపీ నవీం కాదు, బట్ స్టిల్ ఎంత చిన్నవాళ్ళైనా ఎవరైనా కూడా ఎవరెవరికి ఉంటాయి. వాట్ ఎవర్ ఈరోజు వీళ్ళు చెప్పింది. మీరు ఎవరైనా కూడా ఈ యూనివర్సిటీలో జరిగిన ఇండియన్ నాలెడ్జ్ సిస్టమ్ 3 days సెమినార్లో ఏ ఒక్క రోజు కానీ ఆల్ ద 3 days కానీ 2 days కానీ అటెండ్ అయ్యారో లేదో నాకు తెలియదు, బట్ ఐ అటెండెడ్. వాట్ ఈస్ దిస్ IKS, ఇండియన్ నాలెడ్జ్ సిస్టమ్ ఫర్ షార్ట్? నేను ఐఎస్కే ఇస్క్ దాన్ని కొంచెం ప్రొనౌన్సియేషన్లో కొంచెం పెంచితే, లిటిల్ ఎక్స్టెండ్ చేస్తే ఇసుక కూడా మంచి ప్రాధాన్యత ఉంది. ఇసుక రేణువు అంటాము. ఒక ఇసుక రేణువంత నాలెడ్జ్ ఉన్నా కూడా గొప్ప విషయమే. అలాంటిది ఇంకా ఎక్కువ గ్రెయిన్స్ ఆఫ్ నాలెడ్జ్ ఉంటే దట్ ఈస్ వన్ ఇసుక. హిందీలో ఆర్ ఉర్దూలో ఇస్క్ అంటే ప్రేమ అనేసి, లవ్ అనే అర్థం ఉంది. ఇష్క్ అంటారు, షా సాబదులు షా, but more or less near to that. So again, back to Indian knowledge system. This is a program of Ministry of Education, Government of India, and it is also included as a part of National Education Policy 2020. ఇక్కడ కొంతమంది టీచింగ్ ఫ్యాకల్టీలు రిటైర్ అయిన వాళ్ళు కానీ పనిచేస్తున్న వాళ్ళు కానీ ఉన్నారు ఈ గ్రూప్లో నాకు తెలిసి. సో మనం రిటైర్ అయినా కూడా సిన్స్ we are from the education system, I think it's a national seminar, I should speak in English. I will switch to total English in a flow I was telling in Telugu. ఆ పాయింట్ వచ్చినప్పుడు how many languages a Indian citizen should know అనేది కూడా ఒక అంశం. Every Indian citizen should know at least 5 languages, in my opinion. Number 1, the most universal language, which I say Sanskrit, that every Indian should know. For that matter, every person on this earth, on this planet, Earth planet, should know that right now we are concerned about our country. Prabhakar Roy ji, he is also taking Hindi classes. Sanskrit classes. So Sanskrit, it's not a big thing to learn Sanskrit. We should have some interest and a sort of dedication. Interest and dedication. AID, aid, short for interest and dedication. It aids us, it helps us to learn anything. Why you listen? So Sanskrit is the first language you should know. Then the second one is English, which is widely spoken in most of the countries. Not all the countries, but in most of the countries. Whether we like English or not, we should be competent enough in English. The third is our own Indian national language, Rashtra Bhasha, Hindi. Fourth is, in whatever part of the world we are residing, for the time being, for the present, for 4, 5, 10 years, that particular language. If you are in Sweden, we should know Swedish language. If you are in Germany language, like that. And the fifth one, last but not least, we also need to enhance our proficiency in our own mother tongue. Many of the people, whatever their mother tongue is there, they are not much proficient in their mother tongue. Though Kamchalavu language they speak, but not a high-end textual knowledge they develop speak. This is about the language part of it. And now, when we say Indian knowledge system, the subject proper on which we are talking today, there are 3 words. Are there 2 translations of Indian knowledge system into Hindi or Indian language? Bharatiya Gyan Parampara. Bharatiya Gyan Parampara for Indian knowledge system. Parampara, we say tradition that comes like a flow of a river. That is coming from time immemorial to the mankind. Now it is mostly said that the modern mankind has started. Modern man is there for the last 10,000 years. But 10,000 years is itself, it is not a small number. It's a very huge time. According to our Indian system of counting years, how you can mute organization and mute all of them, but there is no this one. Mute except me. Anyway.
Yeah, I muted, sir. I muted.
Okay. Thank you.
Sir, I muted all.
Thank you. Now, this Bharatiya Jnana Parampara tradition or a flow of the knowledge that is coming from the start of the mankind till the modern day, till today, 23rd November 2024, whatever. But what happens is that when the knowledge is the elements of knowledge is, one is creation of the knowledge. Once you create a knowledge, that has to be stored. To store it, we need to document. We document, we store in the form of the books written. In the modern days, after the printing paper are invented about 400 or 500 years back or so, whatever is the time. And in the books of form of books, it is preserved. Thanks to modern technology, we can digitize everything these days. So that we have 2 versions, one a digital version and one a physical version. We can use any of it. So knowledge creation, and from time to time, in the time series, we have 3 types of times. We say PPF. PPF in management stands for Public Provident Fund. That is a different context. But when I say PPF here in this context, it is past, present, and future. In our Karma Siddhanta, according to Bhagavad Gita, also karmas are divided into three. Sanchita karma, Agami karma is there. The karmas what we did in the past, the result which we get it now. And what we do, good and bad karma, in the future they will get repeated. In the recycling of the birth, this is a matter of belief. Some people may believe, some people may not believe. When I invoke this word belief, BDT, bias. All of us, we have a particular bias, a positive bias or a negative bias, that is either for or against on any particular person, particular subject or particular place. I put it in the form of PPT, person, place, and time. When these three are combining, an event is formed. An event, an occasion, or a context is set. This is one thing. So we have bias, but we need to be free of bias, totally neutral, unbiased. But it is not so easy for an ordinary human being like us to be totally unbiased. Only thing is that we should try to reduce our bias to as minimum as possible. Then the second is belief. Some people believe in something, some people do not something. Do not believing is also, in other way it's a belief, not having a belief. So belief is another thing we are subjected to. We don't know why we believe certain things, why don't believe something, but life will not change whether you believe in a particular thing or not. Some people believe in the existence of God. Some people do not believe in the existence of God. Even if you do not, even if you are an atheist, not a theist, and both do not believe in God, are you not breathing your air? That is only God. God is omnipotent and omnipresent. Kindly note down these words, you may be knowing, but those who are not very familiar. Omnipresent and omnipotent. That is, it's a Sarveshwar, or the English word we can say, Almighty. So I don't believe in God, some people say. It does not make any much difference. Who bothers whether you believe or not? So belief is another thing, is a very difficult thing to handle it. Bias, belief, doubt. In English, we use the phrase doubting Thomas, a person who is always doubtful. So that also we need to reduce. Then T for trust. Whom to trust, whom not to trust, to what extent to trust, what not extent to what extent not to trust. This is also a difficult thing. Coming back Indian knowledge system, now we are living in a context called global village. Why do you say global village? Because the entire globe, that is the world, has shrunk to the size of a village due to ICT revolution. What is ICT? Information and communication technology revolution. Because of that, the world has shrank to the level of a village. Then what is the importance of a village? Village is normally a less populated unit where approximately 4,000 to 5,000 in an ordinary average size of any village. 5 to 6 lakhs of villages in our country, out of which 50% of them, 2.5 lakhs are gram panchayats, We have two kinds of villages in our Indian system. One we say panchayat village, the others is a revenue. Revenue village is with respect to land records, revenue records. Panchayats are with respect to development of the mankind, development of the society. Now, because of the ICT revolution, having a high-end smartphone at our end, we can talk from any corner of the world to any other corner of the world, provided, of course, you are having data in your Wi-Fi or data in your mobile. And there is a connectivity and, of course, power. Subject to this, we can communicate across the world. You can export, import goods and services. I remind you of GST, goods and service tax, which is in vogue in India from 2017. You can export either goods or services across the world from one corner to other corner. Because of this global village context, the trade, business, money earning opportunities also enormously increased for those who are having, I was using the short form, aid, intention, and dedication or determination. So whatever we talk, whether it is Indian knowledge system or any other thing, that should fit into the present context of global village concept. This we should keep in mind, whatever we act, whatever we do. I was referring to GST Act 2017. And when we say Indian knowledge system, knowledge is a service. Knowledge is a intangible come tangible, intangible in the sense that you cannot physically see it. It's not touchable, but it can be felt, it can be used like a software. Whereas a hardware is a good software, and education also part of software, and it is a service. In market, we use the word product. There are two kinds of products, that is goods. One is a physical product, which we can touch, feel, see. The other is a intangible one. We can feel, we can use it, but we cannot see it. That is what is the software we say, and the knowledge is one such thing. Now, Indian is referring to our country. Like there are number of people, 4,000 to 5,000 village, there are about close to 180, 190 countries across the world. And each country has also lent their knowledge for the common pool of the knowledge at the world level, subject to restrictions like I say intellectual property rights or whatever, subject to those things. And the territorial jurisdiction or functional jurisdiction, what we say, and the restrictions of a particular country, we use the word know-how, K-N-O-W, H-O-W, H-O-W, a know-how or technology we say, and we use the words, certain words, technology transfer. But knowledge transfer is also there. Technology is in a different platform of the level, but basically knowledge transfer takes place to the student from the teacher. This is one thing. So what is knowledge? So knowledge is also, as I said, PPF, accumulated knowledge. The knowledge accumulated in the past world over, contributed by many scholars, is one thing. Past, accumulated, and without any destruction available as of now. I am telling why that, without any transmission loss of knowledge. When we transfer the electricity power, there is a transmission loss. When we handle things also, exactly we will not get, when we put one container to other container, there will be a little loss of transmission. Unfortunately, in India, what happened? Due to invasion of foreigners on India, more particularly the Mohammedan rulers invaded about 1,000 years back or something like that, of that order, and later the Britishers. I told and understood that lot of books, manuscripts, those days printing, it is not there. It was written on palm leaves and other types of leaves on which they used to write. And it's, all this knowledge was destroyed, put to flames. This is what is being thought of and told. Here, an intelligent question arises in the interest of mankind that you may conquer other country, you may take hold of the administration and become a ruler, that's okay. But education and knowledge which belongs to the entire community over the world, that should not be destroyed. What is to be destroyed? Ultimately, you want to acquire power, that's okay. Where is the question of destroying the knowledge? Yeah, that is another thing. So after the lot of loss in that way, either put into flames or destroying or whatever, not documented, in very olden days of Mahabharata times. Mahabharata is not in the recent past only, not very remote past. Ramayana is, of course, a remote past. Mahabharata is only 5,000 to 6,000 years back that has occurred. The teacher used to be very selective in imparting the knowledge to the students. This is a very important point which we should note. Unlike now, the universalization and the democratization of the knowledge, those days it was not there. The teacher used to check the ethics of the student first, and then only used to teach. Otherwise, learn to know. They were not administered to the Gurukula system or whatever the system that time it whatever was prevalent. The right of admission was reserved by the teacher. These days, it is not possible. Being paid. I don't know what is this bell ringing frequently. Once, twice is okay. Anyway, I think somebody is listening from office bell. I don't know, whatever. So this I was talking about this destruction of knowledge, data. So we spoken about the Bharatiya Parampara, Indian, what they say. So how did India contribute to the pool of the knowledge for the entire mankind across the world is one thing. Now what happens in the modern science? Any knowledge has only two forms, according to me. One is the art form, other is a science form. Science and art. One more thing I say is that life is subject to management. So also knowledge is subject to management. In the recent days, we clearly see here that whatever this atomic power and other things, nuclear bomb preparations, scientists will do, software hackers, people, unethical people also possess the same skill knowledge. They also possess it. The only difference is that they put to destructive or the bad use, whereas the is put here right and positive use. This is happening from the time immemorial, right from the Ramayana days. Ravana is equally powerful as Rama. He is a lot of blessings of Lord Shiva, Lord on whom he did a tapas, Ravana. But the point is that Ravana was too selfish to have everything under his foot for his enjoyment. So that was he was in a bad test. Rama was pious and he was leading an exemplary life. Much into this Puranic, these things and the reasons behind, even if you do not touch it, Ravana has a blessing that he cannot be killed. There's a legal language we say in the drafting. When Ravana asked for that, I should not killed by A, B, C, D, like that, he went on telling. But probably he underestimates humans. and monkeys. I think he did not specify these two categories, or at least human category. And no human can face Ravana because of his abnormal powers that he possessed, because of his own ability. That we should not underestimate the ability of the Ravana, but we cannot appreciate, we need to condemn the way he used powers. That is the, the analytical view of it. So knowledge in good hand, knowledge in bad hand, this is another thing. When we say knowledge, it will be incomplete unless we add skill to it. Knowledge includes skill in the form of theory and practice. Whatever the knowledge in the theory part, what is documented, what is written, what is understood is knowledge. But when it is experimented, implemented, and the result got, and the way of doing it, grounding it, is the skill. So knowledge, which includes skills, knowledge and skill. Then what is system? Then the third word is Indian, is okay, relating to India, the contribution of India to the worldwide these things. Most of the times we keep elders, people saying that zero was invented in India. So many other things are invented in India. Newton's laws of motion. Newton's law of motion, apple falling from top, it's a common sense, no? If the apple is falling without due regards to Newton and any other great people, it's an observation of common sense observation. If anything, a fruit falls, not only apple, you take guava or apple, whatever fruit, it will fall down only, it will not go up. It's a common sense point, but still, probably has documented it and put in a form to the people gave a credit. But in this world, it so happens that somebody contributes the knowledge, some other person takes the credit. That is also possible. That is why this IPR law across the world, even in India, intellectual property rights are in place. Now, that's a different thing. Now, what is system? Why we are telling system? System is a set of things in place which work in tandem in a networked environment for a common cause, that we say system. For example, human.
Ratama. अरे डिफरेंट है मला रात्री दिन नहीं
Sir, I'm muted, sir.
Okay, ma. Our human body is a system. And the main organs in the human body system are, I keep saying, BHLK. B for brain, B for body, H for heart, L for liver, again L for lung, K for kidney. These are the very important organs in the form of BHLK, I say. They work in tandem. That is the system. So also knowledge system, Indian knowledge system. Then again we can divide the knowledge into different ways. One is skill and knowledge. The other is formal and informal knowledge. Some people get a PhD, a post-graduation. So it's a formal knowledge. Some people may have a lot of knowledge, equivalent or even more than that of a PhD holder, but they may not have a valid certificate from a college, valid certificate from a college or university. So formal and informal knowledge. Now, I think there is a system, or a system government has to put into implementation for various reasons, including the cost. I am unable to pay the fees and go to a school or college or a university. But online education, now Kanpur, IIT, and various places, we have a lot of stuff, books online available. And even if you go visit the library at the physical level, you can go and read books and enhance your knowledge. So there should be an open examination system at various levels. In the National Education Policy 2020, we use the phrases the levels: certificate, diploma, degree, honors. These are the, pre-PhD, these are the full levels, honors. Thereafter, PG and PhD, that's a different thing. So I have an accumulated knowledge. I don't have any formal schooling or college education, but I am prepared to participate in a open competition and write the examination equal into certificate course or the diploma course and a honors course or a normal degree course. If I am qualified, you give me a certificate. What is the need for me to go to a school, spend lakhs of rupees? My parents are not in a position to spend that money. For many people, education and health are unaffordable in India. It's a very sorrow state of affairs. So this system should come. Now, according to our Shloka also, in Indian system, the knowledge, 25% of the knowledge has to be gained by the student himself. What we say, swadhyaya, self-study. There is an online, it is there, or go to a library. If you have no capacity to buy a book also, read it, make notes of it, either digitally or physically, whatever you can. Swadhyaya. But unfortunately, now the studentship, parents also should get to this point very carefully. We are very sensitive to the ongoings in the society. My neighbor has admitted in a good school, paying 3-4 lakhs a annum for his LKG, UKG, or class 4-5. If I do not admit my false, I put in bracket, my prestige is low. So beg borrow still chhod de, beg borrow. Beg borrow means you take a bank loan, okay, hide loan or whatever. You also put, not necessary. In America, where my daughter and son-in-law stays there, there is a scope. Of course, in India, also it is there to a certain extent. They need not send the children for school. Homeschooling, they do in the home study, and they can write the examination. And up to class 12, almost that level, it's all government education, it's free education in US. In our India, with great difficulty, we have introduced the Right to Education Act, free and compulsory education up to the age of 14, that comes to class 8. This is out of NEP, I'm telling, before any. It is come before that. This is the thing. But why we should give a free education to all the people in the, I am speaking with reference to knowledge only. Knowledge imparting and the free education and the free health, why we should give to all the people. Why we should give means in the interest of the country, nation, and society, we need to give. If you have an educated class of people, if the country's total population of, we are having about 1.4 billion, 140 crores of that size, if at least 70-80% of them are well educated and well healthy, their contribution to the mankind, to the country, to the world will be much more better than they are suffering from health, ill health, poorly educated. This point has to be taken for granted, has to be taken in good spirit by the society, by the parents, and the government alike. It's not happening. Old wine in the new bottle. I am not against NEP or anything. NEP is fine. But what is the, there are some good changes in NEP, but still, ultimately, what? Swadhyaya is not happening. Swadhyaya is encouraged. If my child is not going to school, I think that I have to cut a figure that I am unable to pay the fees and send it to them. To whitewash this, we have a system wherein we can get a bank loan. Banks are giving loans right from LKG to KG to PG. For any course, they give the bank loans, but we have to repay back. No? It's a good facility. As a standby facility, I accept it. Standby facility. Olden days, there was no fees for the education imparted. It was only GD. What is GD? Not group discussion. It is Guru Dakshana. Guru Dakshana. After you complete your education, and the system was so fine that there is a Upanayan Samskara in certain community. Even if the Upanayana Samskar in some other communities is not done, the age, approximate age, around 8 to 9 years. From then onwards, about 10 years of education, 10 to 12 years of education, till the time they become majors in the present context, 18 years of age to reach the legally, acting the crossing the minority and reach majority. It was in Gurukulas, free of education. I do not know 2-3 things. How many of you attended this Indian knowledge system seminar in the small university which held recently 3-4 weeks back? That is one thing. And last month there was a education seminar at by Hyderabad HISIA, we say in short, Hyderabad Software Exporters Association. They conducted a education on seminar, particularly using technology, how we can take that education knowledge to the rural masses. That seminar I attended. It was a one-day seminar. I was also raising a point as a social entrepreneur, social enthusiast. I may not have a solution, I may not have power to implement it, but at least I can lend my voice and raise a point which may be appreciated by the people in power, and they can do something or other in their own way. What I said is that nationwide there is a policy where the parent is compelled, irrespective of rich and poor, at the age of 8, 9, 10, whatever the government decides, he should be sent to the Gurukula. Gurukulas we are having in the form of the residential educational system. That is the other name for the Gurukula. You leave the child at the Gurukula at the age of 10, collect back at 20 years, and this residential education system should prepare them healthy with a healthy body, mind, and sufficient knowledge as a responsible citizens of the world, not only citizens of India. That should be the education system. No difference between rich and poor. A rich person cannot say that I will not send to Gurukula, I will send to a private school. But this again, it is linked to GDP, economy, growth, commercialization, and whatnot. And we are groping in the dark. We say this is another thing. Now, when we go to the ancient, I mean, remote past. Past also, everything we can say recent and remote. This is one classification. If we go to remote past, that is Ramayana days. Recent past, recent means I am not talking about the last month or the last year. Mahabharata and till now, we can say it is as a recent past. In the remote past, there is a mention of Lanka, which is totally made of gold. Swarna Lanka, we say. Kubera, the richest person those days. And he is a cousin brother of Ravana. Lanka belonged to Kubera, but Ravana, after doing thousands of years tapas and beheading himself 1,000 times before Brahma, he got a lot of bones. And the way Ravana was returning, Vishravasu, his father, he understood the scene, and along with Kubera, he made room for Ravana, left away. And he knows that how Ravana uses his abilities, his power in a wrong way. If I do not leave, he may ask me to leave. So saving his honor, he himself left. Now, there is a mention of Pushpaka Vimana in Ramayana. If that is true, if it is true or fiction, even if it is a fiction, we can get a lesson. If it is a really, if there was a Pushpaka Vimana, because of the lack of documentation, which I was referring to that in the beginning, because of there is a documentation missing, that we were unable to repeat, I mean, remanufacture in a big way that Pushpaka Vimana, or at least a small version of India. Till such time, who invented the plane? Here, my point is that whatever we are inventing, whatever we are discovering, it is already there in the nature. Birds fly. Examining how a birds fly, The same thing I am telling in a layman language, because I am not a scientist or anything. I am just a social entrepreneur or enthusiast. So the same thing I will replicate or duplicate, make a copy of it. That's a live bird. But my flight need not be a live flight. But whatever mechanism that is there, I will reproduce the mechanism and make it. Probably these Wright brothers, they made use of it and invented this flight. Like that, many other things. Fish, they live in water, years and years. They swim. So humans also just practiced. Okay, if you are not just putting your weight in the water and making a dynamics and the ship keep moving, you will be afloat. If you do not move also, you can still be alive in the water. Jalastambhala vidya, that which Duryodhana was knowing, and no one was knowing during his time. And a small little provocation will invoke a loss of pride and ego in Duryodhana. Towards the end of the war, when the Duryodhana was inside a pond, a sort of hiding there, using his Jalastambhala Vidya, at the advance of the Krishna Pandavas, provoked him. If you are a capable warrior, come out and fight with me like that. So he came out on his own. Otherwise, he had that knowledge, that skill to remain in water till these people went away, say 30, 40 days, whatever it is the thing. So here I link communication also. When we say communication, relation, communication, language, these three are interlinked words, interlinked with each other. Should we get provoked? If somebody says something, we do so many things, wrong things at the fit of anger, we say. Fit of anger. FOA. Quickly, people get, I keep telling two things. Know your boiling point and melting point. Melting point means a person comes and requests you to give something. Once he requests, you don't give. Twice, thrice. You yield to his request at the 10th time or 20th time. You take the example of Ghazani Muhammad. Ghazani Muhammad, who invaded Jayachandra, not Jayachandra, Jayachandra's son-in-law, but whoever is the king, Purushottam or somebody. You see the beauty of the ugly part of the human behavior. He has a patience to conquer for, to come on war for 17, 18 times. And each time you do a war, there is a lot of money, finance, physical energy involved. That is one thing. We need to appreciate his, what you say, not give up. Once you take up what he took up, I should ultimately win over this Hindu king. That is, he has taken up. He did not give up unless he conquered the place. The other side, this king was more, Jayachandra was more, what you say, Jayachandra Purushottam, he was more overconfident. Whatever you want, never do anything to me. In time. Here, one more thing I would like to mention, that the king had a skill, knowledge relating to Shabda Vedhi. Shabda Vedhi Banamu, SVB. Not Sri Venkateshwara Bhakti Channel, not that. Shabda Vedhi Banamu. You hear a sound, you put a arrow. That way, he killed this Gajani. I am telling about the linking to knowledge of systems. The same Shabda Vedhi was also there during Ramayana times, and it has come till about 600, 700, 700, 800. I don't know whether it is there or not. And Maybe in other latest technological form, quite it is possible. Ultimately, it is only optics. Optics is light, acoustics is sound. These play a crucial role in any knowledge or the technology. Fine. During Ramayana days, even Dasharatha had this skill knowledge of Shabdavedhi Bana Prayoga, but there was a little mistake. The arrow went and hit a bold Rishi couple. And the son of the Rishi's this one, I think the Rishi couple curse him that you will also have the same what you call curse, and you will also get Viyoga from your son. That is how ultimately Rama went to forests on the adamant advice of Kaikeyi to Dasharatha. Kaikeyi being the last queen. This is again a very ethical thing, which while learning, we also need to unlearn so many things. Dasharatha had 3 wives. Normally, the males and females have qualities in the nature rituals, which we know it. And naturally, the king will be more inclined or affiliated to was the small queen. Dasharatha had 3 queens, but Rama only one. In the modern age, in the present decade, whom should we follow? Dasharatha or Rama? Even now there are some Dasharathas here and there now. And our law is also like a, what we say, it's a cat on the wall. We never know where it jumps. Now our courts say that co-living is okay. What is co-living? Interpretation part of it, I don't understand. In our family, we also co-live, no? We live with each other, wife, husband, their parents, and their children. 2 older couple, 2 married couple, 2 children. Minimum size, I am telling, 6. If you take, if you peg two children, not more than 2 children for a couple. But these days, couple, they are preferring either no child or 1 child. No child, fine, they are happy with it. 1 child, ठीक है, चलने दो, रहने दो, चलने दो. So this is what it's happening. So by learning Indian traditional knowledge is so vast, so vast that it caters to requirement of the humanity across the world. That is the reason we are seeing many Westerns are attracted toward the Indian knowledge system. Maybe it Ramayana, Bhagavad Gita, Bharata. We have only 3 main useful and holy books. I say BBR, Bharatam, Bhagavatam, Ramayana, BBA, BBR. Leave Vedas, Upanishad, and so many Ashtadasha, Puranas, all those things. But these three are very, very important things. Now, Pushpa Vimana, it was, I think the documentation was not there. It is done away. And so many such things. This is one thing we need to. Then another thing. For all individuals, we count our age. Our age, how old are we? 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, whatever it is. There is an age for the country also. There are old countries in the world, across the world. There are also young countries. There are rich countries. There are poor countries. So every aspect particular to an individual or a country have division, any aspect, each and every aspect, it is a division into 2 groups, good, bad, rich, poor, young, old. This way you take. known, unknown, knowledgeable, not knowledgeable. Minimum 2 category. If it is neutral, you can add a third one, but basically this is the thing. And India is one of the very, very few ancient countries, oldest countries. Means a lot of people in the past remained here. They lived and died. And it is a matter of common sense. When I say common sense, it is only a general knowledge or common knowledge. Both are same. Common knowledge and common sense. Common knowledge and common sense. The growth of a person is directly proportional to the extent of the common sense. Common sense, I use the other words for common sense. I say, yes, samaya spurti. Samaya spurti. The spark should lighten when it is needed, not later, neither late nor before. Samaya spurti. Samayajnata. Samayajnata means you have to aptly behave suited in the given context. Samaya spurti, samayajnata. There is one more word. These are little Sanskritized words. Inkitajnata. Inkitajnanamu we say inkitajnata. Put together SSI, not small scale industry. Samaya spurti, samayajnata, inkitajnata. This we need to have one thing. Then there is a common knowledge, that is general knowledge. That is, we know a bit of everything across the world, what is happening. That is the level of general knowledge one possesses. One has a large general knowledge, some other people may have a little general knowledge. Your general knowledge or common knowledge improves once you read the newspaper at least for half an hour a day. 7 days at the rate of 7 days a week means continuously without a break throughout your life, your knowledge improves. And what happens when your general knowledge improves? Your level of confidence enhances, your level of satisfaction goes up, your value in the society goes up. And the other person will not be dare enough to talk anything nonsense before you because they know your level of knowledge and he will be caught. So he will think twice before he embarks to speak any nonsensical or a mean value thing. After this common knowledge, there is a specific knowledge. SK, put together CASK, common knowledge and specific knowledge. What is specific knowledge? That knowledge, one or two, you should have as an alternate, which makes you entitled to a living out, to what we say in English language phrase we use to earn a bread for your family, to earn ultimately, to earn some money to feed your family. That particular knowledge or skill, whatever, motorcycle driving, you can register under Rapido or anything, that one, car driving, you can work for Ola, whatever, or you are a physics, MSc physics, you can teach physics. All these come under the specific knowledge. So abundant common knowledge requires specific knowledge, and I am suggesting two knowledges because if the one is not doing well in the market, you can switch on to the other. If you know better swimming, you can be a guard across the swimming pools in cities where there are swimming pools. So for a hard-working person, there is a plethora of opportunities. Unless a person is very lethargic, there's a lot of scope. So again, Bharatiya Jnana Parampara. Now what happens? I was telling that India is one of the very old and ancient countries, and many people have lived their lifetime here. During each person's lifetime, usually we have a 80-20 rule. We say Pareto rule 80-20. You must be knowing, some of you, that quantity wise, if you take 100 units of the 100 people of 100 of everything, anything, anywhere, only 20 is qualitative, remaining 80 are not quality. That is one thing. It's a fundamental universal rule. Now, even if you take this 20% who are the contributors, remaining 80 people are only beneficiaries. Like freebies, the government sticks, they will be looking for the benefits, but they don't contribute anything. Or their contribution is much lesser than the their benefit, drawing benefit is much more than the contribution they make. Simple examples we can understand. Only 5% of the people in India, they pay taxes. Then what about the remaining? Why are you not working hard? Why are you not seeking knowledge? Why are you not earning? Why are you not paying the tax? The tax paid by the people to the government is a custodian, and it is their wisdom to use it properly. Whether they are using properly or not, I am not going into the debate at this moment. Many people question, you are taking the tax from us, but you are not using according to our mandate. So that is altogether a different platform to talk on it. That also we can talk. So that is the thing. So again, ours being a very oldest country, many people have lived here. Even if the 20% of them have some contributed for the welfare of the people contemporary to them, to their selves, family members, their community, and if have that enough capability beyond the community towards the society at the large, they had contributed, and they might have contributed to the futures, that is the present generations, or in the recent past generations that might have been useful. That is how the before industrialization, we had some rural artisans, cottage industries, and artisans in the form of the carpentry. Each used to have its own some 10 to 20 communities of different doing: barbers, washerman, carpenter, goldsmith, silversmith. These type of services were there. How did they obtain that? They were all doing all those works manually only. Later mechanization came and the rapid industrialization. Now with along the industrialization, everything artificial intelligence, we are totally at a different platform. My age is 72. When I look down to the memories from the age of my 3, what I remember, there is a sea change in the way of living, even in ruralites. Even in rural areas, they do not look as a rural village. What I saw about 30, 40, 50, 60 years back, that village is no more now. Anyway, now, because of their contribution, they might not have documented. Another thing I told you, we can take the example of Ekalavya and Dronacharya, but I was telling that teachers used to select their students only if having a proper ethical base, and only if they are convinced that they do not misuse their knowledge, they used to teach. But somehow Ekalavya, maybe because of his self-talent, but anyway, he proclaimed or made Dronacharya his figure of Dronacharya. He has kept the art form of Dronacharya, and he practiced archery. But later, Dronacharya, here there is a beautiful point. Dronacharya even did not teach some of the Shastrastra Vidyas to his own son Ashwadhama. Astra is weapon, Shastra is weapon. Astra is with the technology, technique, mantra. Even a small grass also, if you use the mantra and put it, it will destroy whatever you have intended through the mantra. That is the power of communication. We need not be at that level, but we are not having a minimum level of properly communicating to the other, making our intentions, what we are trying to say, we are not able to convey it to them, leave mantras and all. Normal communication we are lacking. Circulars come from head office. GOs come, government orders. Different people interpret in different ways. Negative people interpret in negative way and hold the benefits to be passed on. Some people represent it in interpret in a positive way. Some people interpret according to their what you call comfort. The way they want, they interpret. This is the communication lack I was telling. So Dronacharya, I'm thinking that Ashwatthama is not a bad person, but he is a person. I was using the word short temper. I was using a while ago. He was fit of anger. He put an astra on the Upapandavas and killed them. There is a hierarchy, sequence for the things to take place. Sometimes they do not happen, but by and large they should happen. If any person, their children go in front of their eyes, the kind of the misery they undergo, it is unimaginable. So when the Upandavas were killed by the Ashwatthama, this ultimately Ashwatthama was brought before the Draupadi for the punishment to be awarded to him. But somehow Draupadi excuses him. So that is a story. Here the point is that all the Laukika Jnana, materialistic living, whatever doubts we have, we can refer to Mahabharata and get some evidence from it. For the last 5 days, Professor Nagaraj Rao, he was dealing in the morning sessions about the Mahabharata. I was listening. The third time in the level 1, this is the third time I am attending this one. I have also completed the second level. I was referring to lifelong learning or something. I study, put my thinking to various aspects of the ongoings in the society. So post-retirement living, I take some sessions also here and there. There are certain programs like post-retirement, like pre-retirement training they give for those who are retiring within the next 5 to 6 months. Certain organizations, they give you training for the people those are retiring shortly, how peaceful they should be. What happens is that people are used to go to office, and I am retiring after the putting of 35, 40 years, whatever of service. Tomorrow I am not going to office. What should I do? So this is a very big question haunting them, but it is not a question at all. You should be very happy that you get rid of this routine job and you can make a better use time that is available to you from the date of retirement till the age you hang your boots. One is retirement at 60. I say at the age of 81, you have to hang your boots. I mean, you have a 21 years of post-retirement life to pursue your passion, whatever you have in your mind. People, instead of thinking that, they are worrying. And many people, means at least few people are dying on the date of retirement itself, or within a couple of months of retirement, because they don't have a full plan of what to do after retirement. So here any people about to retire, my suggestion is that at the age of 57, 2-3 years before your retirement, you plan for 2-3 things. Number 3, you try to see that your family responsibility with respect to your children are completed. You see they are settled in a job or some earning and they are married, and you don't have further responsibility of them with you, carrying with you. You should have your own pension if it's a pensionable job, or you should have some fund. The interest of the lady on which should be able to take care of your monetary needs of your wife and yourself. So what I was talking a while ago is that transfer of knowledge, pedagogy, memorization, rememorization. When the paper was not invented, the teaching start was only in a oral way. and you go on rechanting, repeating it number of times so that it settles in your brain. It lives for a long time, long-lasting memory. You do not forget it. I was referring to Swadhyaya, self-study. You have to emanate, grow thoughts, ideas, the tangential thoughts and ideas based on the text you read and whatever you listen, whatever way. Based on the input, you have to process and give a upgraded output, which can be drawn by you and which can be shared with others. That is the purpose of the knowledge. The already existing knowledge creates a new knowledge by whom? By people, you and me, like that, whoever it is. So Swadhyaya, and now peer study, second level, Sahadhyaya, you and your selected friends, one or two, of same level, little here and there, you do a combined study, that we say Saha Adhyaya. So 25% you will get here out of 100 by Swadhyaya, and another 25% by Sahadhyaya, and another 25% through teacher. Now in the education conference also, where I go, I say that thanks to technology, by using it very productively, positively, students from LKG to PG need not go 5 days to educational institutes. Monday to Friday, they have to read online or offline at home. Saturday and Sunday only, they have to go to the education institutions for, number one, socializing. Number two, rid of the doubts in the subjects through the teachers, lecturers, professors, whatever. Then what are the advantages? You are not causing pollution, enhancement of carbon dioxide in the by the school, college buses, school buses, running, morning, going, evening thing. What is the need? But this is a very debatable question and it will be acceptable. My opinion to be gathered. I am referring everything to knowledge only. Knowledge transfer. We can do it online. And the fourth quadrant is that as your age enhances and as your experience goes up, as your expertise go up, that the last 25% slowly will build up. These are the four. This is a very ancient saying. Sloka is there in Sanskrit. I have just translated the meaning of it. I have translated in the English in our running language. So again, Ishq, Indian traditional system. Gurukulas, the present residential school equivalents. And it should be at affordable cost, based on the affordability. If the parent is paying cost, you take it. But for the lack of money, for the insufficient of money, nobody's education should be stalled. Nobody's medical treatment should be stopped. This is the minimum humanity that the society should carry, that the government should carry. Yeah. Now, pool of knowledge. Pool of knowledge in the sense what I say, we have only, I call it stream, STREAM in short. Any knowledge. ASK, skill, knowledge, and your attitude. This makes a personality of a person. And now, knowledge is basically of two types, according to one classification. Knowledge and skill is one thing. Other is art form and science form. In our world, this on Indian context, we say Chatushashti Kala, 64 art forms. And Shodasha Gunas. Rama was a complete person having all the Shodasha means 16 Gunas. Elsewhere it is told as 32 Gunas. When we say Guna, Dosha is also there, or we say Avaguna. They are double the number. There are 72 Avagunas. They are listed. You can find out this from the Google or any other source. You can find out. Equivalently, now we have two dictionaries. We have two words. One is phobia, other is trait. There is a trait dictionary, TRAIT. I understand there are 18,000 traits. Trait means the qualities of a. Namaskaram, Prabhakar garu. Just close. Then phobias. Right, sir. Noted. Phobia means unknown fears or phobias. Like to the gunas and the avagunas. These days we use this word states and the phobias. Now it is exactly 5:30. Dot. I am also stopping on time. Dot. Now I am open for any questions from your end. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the wonderful session on so many aspects you have covered. It's a very, very elaborate subject. Very brief, we have explained what all you learned in IKS. That is the requirement of the day. With your varied background and your experience as a chief manager, you have handled many, many such matters. You did it in a very, very, very lucid way where we all could also understand. You connected it to our ancient history also, to our Vedic history also. So we are very honored to have you amongst us today as a faculty. Now it's open for the question answer session. I request our Mahodaya, Prabhakar Mahodaya to start with any of his observations. Yeah. I open the platform.
Anybody
Yes.
who would like to put questions, please ask your question, please. Please raise your hands. Yeah. Sri Surya.
Padmavati.
First, Sister Surya.
Namaste, Amma.
Sister Sri Surya Narayana.
అది గురుగారు
అడగండి పద్మావతి గారు అడగండి.
లైన్ లో అది ఇందాక చిన్న నెట్ ప్రాబ్లం వచ్చి వాక్యం ఒకటి వెళ్ళైపోయాను. విలేజెస్ 2 రకాలని చెప్పారు గురువు గారు.
ఏమమ్మా 2 రకాలు ఏమన్నాను?
విలేజెస్ 2 రకాలు, గ్రామాలు. అదే నాకు వినపడలేదు సార్, ఎందుకంటే నెట్ ప్రాబ్లం వచ్చినప్పుడు మాకు.
నో ప్రాబ్లం. రెవెన్యూ పంచాయతీ విలేజెస్. రెవెన్యూ
అలాగే సంతోషం.
పంచాయతీ విలేజెస్ అని
అలాగే సంతోషం, ధన్యవాదాలు.
విలేజెస్ రెవెన్యూ ఉంటే సగం దాంట్లో పంచాయతీ విలేజెస్.
ఓకే, నౌ మండపల్లి వెంకటేశ్వరరావు గారు, కేవీ రావు గారు, ప్లీజ్ ఆస్క్ యువర్ క్వశ్చన్. హరి ఓం.
వెంకటేశ్వరరావు గారు ప్లీజ్.
హరి ఓం. మండపల్లి వెంకటేశ్వరరావు గారు, కేవీ రావు గారు, ఆర్ యు దేర్?
నమస్కారం అండి.
నమస్కారం సార్.
Namaskaram Andi. Your lecture was very, very interesting, and one point which I very much liked and need of the hour today is your proposal for introduction of a education system, like sitting at home at 5 days and coming to the school for 3 days. It's a very, very good system, and the students will be more and responsible people will come out. This country needs more responsible people now. So I wish that through our Prabhakar resolution is passed and sent it to the Niti Aayog and as well as to the Ministry of Education, Government of India. Because this is very, very important now. As you rightly said, pollution also will come down and students will become more responsible. It is not that all students are bad or all children are bad, something like that. The people become more responsible. In olden days, we were all more responsible. We used to read more and learn something from them. So your 25%, 50%, 25% is, I fully agree with you. And I like it very much. But it should go to the right persons and who the decision makers. That is very important. Thank you very much, sir. చాలా బాగుందండి, మంచి రీసెర్చ్ చేసి చాలా బాగా నచ్చిందండి. నమస్కారం అండి. కంగ్రాచులేట్ యూ ఫర్.
Anybody else would like to speak? Hello.
Hello.
So now we'll see. I got to take more questions now. Whose mic is that giving a lot of disturbance? Mute, please. Somebody's mic is giving a lot of disturbance, please. Please go to mute. All others, please go to mute. Yeah.
Oh, they have muted everybody.
But somebody's. Are you home? Is it my phone only?
Now they have muted.
Okay. Now, the excellent speech from Mohan Rao garu. Thank you very much, sir. And the Indian systems talks about holistic approach of the subject of the science and philosophy, and that's what teaching ages together in the country, and the country was having till 10 AD, we were having number of universities in the country, and whole world used to come and take the subject from our the knowledge from our country. So the people are living from ages together in this world, in this thing, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, and the people are living here. The people are living means they need science. So science and management are internal subjects of the any life, and these life systems have been taught ages together as Guru, our country, to the whole world. So if you talk about the systems or things, what are the needs of a human being? Roti, kapada, makan. These are the needs of human being. So another way, if you look at it, is materialistic knowledge and philosophical knowledge. If you talk about the materialistic knowledge, it's a variable knowledge, depending on the ages, time, and these things. And philosophical knowledge is the base. The ethics, moral, culture, manners, all these things will come under philosophical knowledge, and the ultimate aim of a person, human being. Purushartham, what is the main Purushartham of the human being? So for these things, the excellent systems have been designed by our Rishis, and they are all Chaturveda Purusharthas, Chaturveda Ashramas, Dharmartha Kama Moksha Chaturveda Purusharthas, Ashramas, Chaturveda Ashramas, such as Brahmacharya, Grihastha-ashrama, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasa. And these are all things which talk about the materialistic life as well as the philosophical life. So in these aspects, if we talk about what is there in our systems, what is the speciality of these things, how the old systems have been talked about these things, what our Vangmayam is having these things. The first thing is, if we talk about these things, is one second. It's a holistic approach. That's one point. The second point is sustainability, traditional practices with sustainability knowledge, knowing to everybody, and thirdly, wellness of the people, Ayurveda and other things. And then innovation, continuous research. The Rishis used to do continuous research. You find many Rishis, Aryabhatta, Bhaskaracharya, Panini, not one to name. Thousands of people are, hundreds of people are there, thousands of people are there who did research, and millions of Vangmayam is there in manuscripts are there in our knowledge systems. So there are all these things, and we have got Ashtadasi Vidyas, and 4 Vedas, and 6 Vedangas, 6 Darshanas, 4 Upavedas, complete 18 systems are there. And if we talk about skill sets, we have got 64 skill sets, 6 Chaturdasa Kalas. All these things have been taught in our school system, college systems. And if we talk about the importance of our subjects, what we used to think of is mathematics, contributions to zero, decimal system, algebra and geometry, astronomy, ancient Indian astronomics, discoveries of planetary systems and cosmology, And if we talk about metallurgy, development of steel, production and other metallurgical techniques, and if we talk about medicine, Ayurveda, surgery, and anatomy and pharmacology, Ushya Shastram. And if we talk about this, any Ramayana, Mahabharata, or if we talk about darshanas, the administrative systems, Nyaya Darshana, and the physical and the philosophical, the science systems, Vaisheshika Darshana, and then Dharma Shastras, Sutras, not one system. There, a panorama of the knowledge systems are there, and millions of books are there in Sanskritam knowledge, Sanskritam language. So the need is there for the people to learn the Sanskrit knowledge and revive the manuscripts, collect the manuscripts which are lost and distribute all over the world, and better to collect all that knowledge again and bring back the Vishwaguru system to the country, and this is in need of the country. So everybody in the society, mainly younger generations, should take interest in knowing what is there in our systems and in learning them properly in a correct concept, with the Indian lens, with an Indian lens, with a dharmic lens. Mainly dharma is our main system, and with dharmic lens we should learn our systems. With Sanatana Dharma based systems we should learn Satyam Vada Dharmanchara Sarve Jana Sukhna Bhavantu Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam Swadhyayan Ma Prameditavyam. With all these things, concepts, the basic concepts of human development, mind sciences, all these concepts have been properly taught and properly nurtured in our society in olden days. And this has been last 1,000 years for various innovations. And why people are not doing research is because of the invasions and then colonial rules. We could not do further research. That advantage has been taken by the Westerners, taken away our granthas, learned them and developed them. It's great. They have developed them, and now present day Indian world knowledge is very advanced stage. We should appreciate for their work. Nothing wrong in that. But we should also come up to that level by bringing back our old glory and understand the modern knowledge, as well as bring back the old cultural traditions of base philosophical thinking. So with these concepts, we should nurture our younger generations by modifying our education systems by the government, by the public, by the society, by the associations like us, and bring back the old glory. With these few words, and knowledge, Indian knowledge systems is a very vast subject. You have presented in a very modern way with a very good concepts. It's very interesting, and thank you very much for your time and for your efforts for conveying the knowledge to the society and to the younger generations. Dhanyavadaha. Namaskara. So
Dhanyavadaha, Mahodaya. Yeah. Let us close the session. Pratana by Dr. K. Sharda Garu. Please chant the Pratana, please.
Swasti prajabhyah paripalayantam nyayena margena mahimahishah go brahmanebhyah shubhamastu nityam loka samasta sukhino bhavantu kale varshatu parjanyah prithvi sasyashalini deshoyam kshobarahito brahmana santu nirbhayah aputra putrina sant pautrinah adhana sadana santu jivantu sharadam shatam satyam vada dharmanchara swadhyayam ma pramadah sarve bhavantu sukhinah sarve santu niramayah sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। सर्वे जनाः सुखिनो भवन्तु। स्वस्ति।
Hari Om.
Dhanyavadah, Arun. Now I request all to stand for the national anthem, and I think Dr. Sharda Garu, can you chant the
Yeah.
national anthem,
I
please?
stand, don't worry.
Yeah, all of you please stand and be on mute. She will chant the national.
जनगणमन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल वंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा। तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभाशिष मांगे। गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे। जय हिंद।
And
जय
Hind.
श्री राम।
Dr. Jai Sri Ram, Dr. Sharda Garu, again a very big thanks from all of us.
Thank you.
So let us conclude the
Dhanyavad,
session,
namaskar.
Mahodaya. Shall we close the session for today? Prabhakar Mahodaya, shall I?
Let us close.
Yeah. Okay, let us close for the day. Thank you all for coming.